Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the week 52. Guys, the year is over. December the 20th through the 26th, a weekly wrap up. Okay, so I am unsure at this moment in time because it is, last week was from the 20th to the 26th, which means there are 4 or 5 days left within the year. And that actually goes to like Thursday of next week. I think it's Thursday because I think New Year's is on Friday. Is that what it is? Let's see. Let's pull up the handy calendar. Okay, so the new year actually starts on Friday, and that actually puts the majority of the week within 2020. So I am thinking that instead of this being the last video of the year and the last video that will be available on Sundays for free here on YouTube, before I move it over to my Patreon, that I will do next week's here on YouTube as well, just because so many of the days fall into 2020. I have gotten or received some feedback about the whole moving this video with the main reviews, the weekly reviews, over to my Patreon, and you know, I have feelings about that, guys. This is a lot of work, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate those that can move over to my Patreon to support me and gain access to this video and a whole lot of other content. But at the same time, I'm not going to be changing the things that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there's still going to be a crazy amount of content that you guys will be getting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it'll be a variety. It won't just be the stock stuff. It won't just be tags. It won't just be recommendation videos. There's going to be some fun stuff that, I will be adding to the schedule. It's just that this one video is moving over there for those that pay for it. So I greatly appreciate your support in any manner. If you're just staying for the Tuesdays and Thursdays, if you move over to Patreon and you're still watching the Tuesday, Thursdays, and you're paying for the Patreon, I appreciate you all around. So this week was Christmas week for those that celebrate it, and I do. Got my fuzzy, pretty like PJs that my mama sent me. They're so comfy. I love them oh so much. Super excited I get to wear them. And my husband scored with an amazing animatronic little, like, the child. I didn't bring him down here, but yeah, I got an animatronic child from The Mandalorian. He's so cute. So adorable. Then my husband also scored with getting me the complete collection of Dawson's Creek Pops. I'm so excited about that. I absolutely loved Dawson's Creek when I was growing up. Well, it wasn't even when I was growing up. It was like in my, 20s when Dawson's Creek started, and it was a drama that I just fell into and loved. And Joshua Jackson was my boo, is my boo. I love him to death. When he started in the affair that was on Showtime, I think it was, I was all for that story. I was like, oh yes. And then some of the spicy scenes with Josh, I was like, yes, thank you very much. So very much. So it was a good week. It was a chill week. Over on Instagram, I did the 25 days of tea, and I greatly appreciate all those that watch that. And for the content, I did videos every single day. I brewed tea every day, and you guys are great. If you missed it, you can go check out my Instagram. All the links for all of my social media stuff is down in the description box, along with a whole bunch of other good stuff that's down in the description box. In other words, make sure you're checking the description box. Make sure you're liking and subscribing this video. Interaction, comments, sharing, things like that is greatly appreciated. It helps me out with my interaction analytics and things like that. But let's get into the books that I read last week, because I have a lot of them. Quite a few of them are novellas, but I will, move quickly through them, because there's 12 of them. 12 books last week, guys. Woo! I burned it up. Burned it up. So, first book that I'm going to talk about is The Office Party by Whitney G. This is a romantic comedy novella. Give it 4.5 stars. Give it 4 Steam fans. Read it as an ebook, and this is a Black author. It's offered on KU. This is about Savannah, who is the assistant and, co-worker of Garrett. Garrett runs this huge company. The two of them have tension. Well, Garrett, being the head of the company, makes all of his employees go on a retreat during the holiday season, and it is a forced mandatory. You don't take time off during the Christmas and holiday season. You go on this 2 weeks paid vacation with the company, but you're working and things like that. Well, they have sexual tension, and the 1 year that Savannah ends up getting Garrett as her, for Secret Santa, we'll just put it at that, for Secret Santa, she re-gifts him something very, very, very interesting. And then it kind of comes out that, there is some sexual tension that goes both ways, and you get to sort of see their story. I said it's a novella, and I just gave you this huge long summary, and it is so much fun, and it's so super spicy, and it's funny. I was reading this book at 11 o'clock at night, and I was tee-hee-hee-hee in bed, and my husband probably wanted to kick me. I'm like, hey, it's late, we're trying to go to sleep. But it was so funny, so much fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Relationship Pact, which is Kings of Football #3 by Adriana Locke. I placed this in contemporary / romantic comedy, and give it 4.25 stars. Give it 3 Steam fans. I read this as an ARC. It is available for you to read. It's live. This is a fake dating sort of self-doubt situation. If you read the other 2 books in the Kings of Football series, written by Megan Quinn and Ilsa Madden Mills, then you know this story is involving Hollis, who, while they're on their break after having a horrible season, he goes to, I believe it's Georgia, and for sort of a conference, not a conference. He goes to Georgia for an event, and he meets this young woman named Larissa, and she needs a boyfriend because her mother continues to try and match make her and stuff like that. Well, she has had a bad time when it comes to athletes when they meet, and she sort of is like, hey, can you be in a relationship with me real quick so I can get rid of this ex douchebag kind of guy. Hollis is like, oh yeah, I'm down for it, what have you. And they move from there. There are some deeper and more meaningful issues that are going on both sides of the story. Larissa has some things going on with her, and Hollis has some things, and you find out about his history there, and I really, really enjoyed it. Next, we have Snowed In with the Quarterback by Christy Pastore. I place this in contemporary novella. Give it 4.5 stars. Give it 3.5 Steam fans. Read this as an ebook, and this was part of a Christmas novella project that I did for the 25 Days of Christmas. And this involves Amy and Spencer. Amy and Spencer had a steamy, sweet kiss that 15 years later they are still thinking about, and when Amy gets her airline ticket canceled because of the snow, and Spencer has a bad football game and is coming back to town, he invites Amy over to his place, and they end up getting snowed in together. Then they revisit the feelings that they had for each other, and I was like, mwah, chef's kiss, very good. Next, I read Finding Home by Christy Leigh. This is a contemporary novella. Give it 4.25 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans. Read it as an ebook, and this is a Christmas novella as well. And you guys, Oh my goodness. I thought this was such an adorable story and really enjoyed it. This is a um, Christmas vacation story where they get kind of stuck together. So Charlotte is a career bartender. She goes on vacation with her douchebag boyfriend who is a workaholic, and not even 24 hours of being at the hotel, at the resort, and things like that, she catches him cheating on her. Like, seriously. So then in walks Ward. Ward is the manager of the resort in which Charlotte is at, and he invites her to stay with him. He kind of feels guilty because the chick that the douchebag was cheating with is Ward's girlfriend. So yeah. So Ward takes Charlotte out one night, and they go to the bar, one of the bars, what have you, and they end up winning a trip to a different island. So in this, they find that they have a connection. Well, I didn't even realize this, but after talking with Kristy, after I finished the story and did a mini review on it, she was like, did you notice there was no sexy time? I was like, oh, you know what? There was not. And it didn't even affect my like. And you guys know I enjoy a steamy romance. There is some hinting at, and I believe there's a fade to black scene towards the end, but like, it didn't need it. This story didn't need it, and I was pleasantly, and will recommend this story, surprised for it. Yes. The next book that I finished was The Christmas Con by Rachel Robinson. Place this in contemporary. It's a novella. Give this one 4.5 stars. Give it 5 Steam fans. Woo! Ooh, it was steamy. Kind of like I'm like sweating. I'm sweating. I was sweating when I was reading this book. So read it as an ebook, part of my Christmas novellas that I was reading for that 25 Days of Christmas project. And this book follows Elizabeth, and she goes to the dark web to find a date for her family gathering, and Luca ends up answering her ad. Well, before her family gathering, Luca's like, yo, I want you to come to Bora Bora. I'll fly you here, and I want you to spend the week so I can like rail you, and then we'll do that's the thing that we'll do in trade. You come to be with me, and then I will go and fake being with you. Well, lots of things end up happening. You have some crazy family members. You find out who Luca really is, who he happens to be, a royal porn star. And let's just say it is all kinds of spicy hot. Get ready to call the fire department because the sex scenes in this are on fire. On fire. The next book that I finished was Tangled in Tinsel by Mariah Dietz. I placed this in contemporary novella. Give it 3 stars. Give it 1 Steam fan. Read this as an ebook, and this is another sort of Christmas novella that I read for my Christmas project, and it just didn't feel completely fleshed out for me. So you have Piper and you have Carter. Both of them end up like going home, but they actually get stuck in the airport. All the roads are closed. They're actually stuck in the airport, and they're snowed in, waiting to go for their holiday trip back home type thing. And they had a relationship before, and Carter is Piper's brother's best friend. So there's that. This was just a meh story for me. I kind of wanted a little more something, just something. It kind of fell flat for me. Next, we have a group of books that I read so that I could, that I happened to find on Amazon. The next 5 books I believe it's the next 5. I don't think I had anything in between there. But the next 5 books are available on Amazon through Kindle Unlimited. They are Amazon originals. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get the book and the recording of it, the audiobook, for free. You can borrow it like that. So we have The Prince and the Troll by Rainbow Rowell. Give this book 2 stars. Give it 0 Steam fans. Listen to it and read it as an ebook and audiobook. Like I said, it's part of that Amazon original. We have Adam and a Troll. He drops his phone one day. The troll ends up giving the phone back, and then they start discussing. Didn't see the point to this story. And yeah, there's that. Then I read Hazel and Gray by Nick Stone. This is a twisted YA fairy tale sort of retelling, and I give this one 3.5 stars. 1 Steam fan, ebook, audiobook, Amazon original, KU story. This one follows Hazel and Gray, which is a play off of Hansel and Gretel. They get lost in the woods. They're actually boyfriend and girlfriend, not brother and sister. Hallelujah. But this one has more social commentary with it about the sex trade, or sex trafficking. That's what I was going for. Sex trafficking, and social commentary about how BIPOC, yeah, I guess we could say BIPOC characters, and BIPOC people, period, are lesser and are more susceptible to the to sex trafficking. God, I couldn't get that out. But yeah, there's that. Then I read The Princess Game by Soman Chainani. This is another Twisted Fairy Tales within that collection. I gave it 3 stars. I give it 0 Steam fans. Ebook, audiobook, KU, Amazon original. This one is a full cast. I'm not even gonna try and name everybody because it is a whole bunch of people. All the princesses, all of the princes from the traditional Disney characters. You have it in a interview style, which was a little off-putting, and it felt more like a play. This was only like 73 minutes long, guys, and it was just weird. It's a murder mystery, so you have a 21 Jump Street sort of situation where you have a detective that is pulled straight out of the police academy, put into this like private prep school situation, and then the girls start dying like the fairy tale princesses. One is like buried alive, another is pricked by a spindle, you have one that's poisoned. So all of that is wrapped up in this, right? So the social commentary that goes with this one is that you know, toxic masculinity and things like that. I didn't like it because even though I'm okay with the interview style, it added too much extra dialogue. So it would be like, oh, the cell phone fell to the floor. Crash. I don't need to know that. Okay. Just say that the cell phone fell on the floor. I don't need to hear a crash. Or like have you say it crashes. Just make it crash. It's an audiobook and it's a full cast and orchestrated. Just do the sound effect. Like, really? I don't think they were supposed to say that. It was weird. Then I read The Cleaners by Ken Lui. This is part of that Twisted Fairy Tales collection. I give this one 2 stars. I give it 0 Steam fans, ebook, audiobook, and Kindle Unlimited, Amazon original. This one follows Guy, Clara, and Beatrix. Guy is a cleaner, so he goes in, and the social commentary about this one is that everything that we touch manifests the feelings that the person has. So Guy goes in and cleans those things. He takes all of the memories off of it so that if you were to give it to someone else, it didn't hold those memories and you weren't able to gather that. And then you have Clara and Beatrix, who are sisters, and one is embracing the feelings and things like that. They're a forensic like feeler, what have you, or forensic memory investigator, and that's their job. So, you know, they don't mind touching things and then getting the feelings off of it. Then the other one is hired Guy to clean some of her ex-boyfriend's stuff so that she no longer has those memories with him. As soon as it got started, I was intrigued by it, but then it just kind of leaves off and you're like, what was I supposed to gain from that? Like, seriously. And then the final book in that whole Amazon original series is The Wickeds by Gayle Forman. By far, this was the best one out of it. And give this one 3.5 stars. Give it 0 Steam fans because there was no Steam to it. Ebook, audiobook, Kindle Unlimited, Amazon original. This one follows the evil or wickeded stepmothers and Mother Gothel. So you have Gwendolyn, who is Cinderella's stepmother, Marguerite, who is Rapunzel's captor or Mother Gothel, and then you have Queen Isadora, and she is Snow White's stepmother. So in the beginning you find that they end up starting like this like sort of stepmothers club type thing. You know, they get a bad name and they're evil and everything like that, but then they start kind of hanging out together and getting a feel for each other. Well, they hatch this plan that they're gonna go and take revenge on those young ladies. Well, moral of the story is that things that our parents do are for a reason, and you get to sort of get that sense of things because as you move along, they start to see and understand a little more, and then you get some of the princesses' feedback near the end of the story. Like I said, by far, this was the best one out of those 5 that actually made some sense. Then the final book that I finished reading last week was Dirty Passions, which is The Lion and the Mouse. Book number 5 by Ken Lui. This is a dark romance. I give it 4.25 stars. Give it 5 Steam fans. Read it and listened to it, ebook and audiobook. I got it from Hoopla, and I read it on Kindle Unlimited or off of Kindle Unlimited. I had it on Kindle Unlimited for a little while, and then it was offered as an audiobook. It came out as an audiobook, so I was like, snatching that up, like right now, and started to listen to it. So we are back with Casimir and Emily, and they just got back from Paris. They found out some traumatic things had happened, and that's all well and good. It was fun to be back into that dark mafia crazy world of craziness in Russia and things like that. I think that this book was just too long. There was too much emphasis on the traumatic issue that Emily and Kaz ended up having. And then it brought in a lot of history, like a lot of history and talk of racism. And I thought that was good, but it was a little heavy-handed and too much. I definitely think that this story could have been shorter. But other than that, yeah, I really enjoyed being back there. There is content warning, so I'm going to give you guys content warning for, especially for this book, for talk of miscarriages, murder, animal cruelty, animal sacrifice, child sex trafficking, deceit, revenge, cults, racism, murder. All of those things are in this book and in this series in some way or another. This book just has a lot of them. That's why I place it in dark romance as well. So be ready when you decide to jump into this series, especially if you make it to this book and you're like, oh, I'm waiting for this book and stuff like that. This one is a heavy book. It's a heavy book, and it was just a little too much. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Dark by Aleatha Romig. This is book number 2 in the Dangerous Web series. It comes out in 2 weeks, you guys. You guys will get it in 2 weeks. I will have this done in like the next couple of days, and I am so excited for it. And whew, already drawn back into the story, and we are finding more out about Lorna and read their story, their past, the things that they're going through, I am here for it. And just so many yeses. Other than that, I'm not exactly sure what I will be reading because I am still I'm finally putting out my Bookish Academy Awards nominations over on my Patreon. So those videos will be going up to the 31st so that you guys can get, so that those people can get those. And yeah, it's the end of the year, you guys. 2020 is finally over. Don't forget at midnight on the 31st when we move into the new year to say Jumanji, so that next year isn't as messed up as this year was. I'll have a whole slew of videos coming out for you guys. Like I said, Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the YouTube channel, and why did I say Saturdays? Sunday videos will be over on the Patreon, as well as loads of other content over there. Make sure you're checking the description box for the links. I have my Amazon wish list, my Patreon, my Ko-fi, my PayPal. What else do I have down there? All of my other social links are down there. There's a feedback form, so if you have any comments or things like that that you don't want to put on the video, you can contact me through that. Make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the channel, and I greatly appreciate all those that continue to help support me and you know, give me the motivation to continue to do these videos. I really like, you know, telling you guys about books. I do. I think that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.